Hello, and thanks for popping onto Aha Moments. I hope you're having a wonderful day. This one is called It's Your Move and was originally sent out on August 24th, 2023. If you didn't get it, if you're not in the subscriber list, then subscribe to jrang.com. Hop on so that every Monday morning at 8 a.m. Eastern, you get an insightful aha moment to start your day. And well, if you're in the other part of the country, maybe it'll be the end of your day. Maybe you could even save it for the next week. Well, who knows? Whatever works for you. That's what aha moments are all about. They are whatever you get out of them. So the point of an aha moment, I think that we learn one aha moment at a time. I think that everything that happens to us creates some kind of an aha within us if we're paying attention, and most of us are. That whether it's something hugely impactful or something really small, the shift that happens as a result of that awakening, whether it's an experience or something that you learn, or just some kind of divine download that happens, whatever it is, it makes you go in a more empowered direction, right? That's why so many times we say the older we get and we say, gosh, I wish I, had what I know now, then. That we would love to be able to take all that in. But from the way I understand it is when we come here, that our memories are wiped clean of what happened before. And there's a reason for that, apparently, is so that we go through our life's experiences to find our purpose, to live through whatever that contract is, says, whatever it is that we're supposed to be doing here. If we carried our memories with us from past lives or past experiences, or if somehow we knew what it was that we were supposed to be doing, then we wouldn't have the experience, we wouldn't have the growth. So we start with a clean slate, and then we learn as we go. And all of them, as I said, I believe are little aha moments, sometimes massive aha moments. And sometimes the worst thing that happens turns out to be either the best thing that happens or something good happens out of it. Everything happens for a reason, right? So this aha moment is called It's Your Move. And it is actually one that I had published a few years ago. I brought it out again because it was because I moved and I thought it was just really appropriate. So I'm going to call it up here and read it to you again. You can subscribe and get these for yourself, but hey, it's fun to read them with you, and it's fun to have a little chat here, right? At any time, definitely respond to me with what you learned, what you thought. I love getting the responses, and I love having those dialogues. It helps me to learn, helps me to do something a little bit better as well. So anyway, let's go. Did you ever notice how your body reacts to what's on your mind? Say you see someone you haven't seen for a while, someone you really like, you might smile, look directly into their eyes, walk quickly towards them, open your arms to initiate a hug, or offer an enthusiastic greeting. Or conversely, if you presented with challenging news, you might lower your eyes, slump, sigh, shake your head, or raise your arms in disbelief or frustration. It's called embodied cognition, the theory that many aspects of cognition are shaped by aspects of the entire body. I'm just trying to get my cursor here to participate. There we go. Now, those examples stem from a reactive response. Does it work the same way from a proactive perspective? Social psychologist and scientific researcher Amy Cuddy received over 39 million views of her TED Talk on what she called power poses, striking a stance that instilled a sense of personal power. Cuddy's initial research suggesting that beyond instilling confidence, power poses actually have an effect on hormones, the latter of which met with mixed reviews upon other studies not achieving consistent similar results. Knowing that the mind and body are in constant conversation, that subconsciously our body gives clues to how we're reacting to news, good or bad, can planting ourselves shoulders back with a smile on our face actually initiate positive feeling. Aha! Choose confidence with your entire being. What you do with your body has a profound effect on the way you think about yourself and interact with others, says Mark Bowden, body language keynote speaker, best-selling author. It goes back to the pain and pleasure principle, or as Amy Cuddy describes it, using approach avoidance, that generally all of our thoughts, feelings, and actions are motivated to move towards pleasure or away from pain. When our approach system is activated, we are happier, more optimistic, more confident, more creative, more likely to take action, more likely to seek rewards and opportunities, more physically energetic, and less inhibited, among other things. Activation of the inhibition systems leads to the opposite effects. The key word is activated, and neuroscientist Peter Stick adds, how we move, think, and feel has an impact on the stress response through real neural connection. Emphasize, it's not only thoughts, feelings, actions in that order to create new connection. You can boost your confidence by reversing the sequence, starting with your favorite expansive pose. Chin up. How about that? So what do you think? So Cuddy's findings were challenged. Not everybody had the same results when they did the studies, but she said, no, when you strike that power pose of the confidence, shoulders back with a smile on your face, that it affects the physiology, affects the neurons in your body, which creates more confidence. And so I tend to agree with it. I feel that way. And I know sometimes if I'm going into a situation, into a meeting, into a networking event, into something that maybe I've had a day, and there I need to feel like I'm centered, I have some self-power, and that I go in with the confidence, with the not trying to, I know people say work a room or something, and I'm not trying to take over, I'm not trying to control anything. All I want to do is center myself and be open. And in order to do that, I need to be open to receive. I need to be expansive, right? I need to have my chest open and my head back. And of course, from, Mark Bowden talks about the what he calls the truth plane in body language. And he wrote a book, I think, of the same name. And basically, when you have your hands at your middle and your hands exposed, and that's the truth plane. That's where you're completely vulnerable. You're showing everything that you have. This is a little bit of a side note, but he talks about, if you have your hands behind your back or in your pockets or somehow hiding your palm, that goes back to, a really long time ago when we wanted to see what was in people's hands, that they didn't have a knife or a rock or somehow that they were going to hurt us, right? So having your chest exposed, he suggests, like any men are wearing a suit, if you're speaking and you're wearing a suit, to unbutton the suit so that you're exposing your middle, and to keep your hands, at your middle with your palms open, very vulnerable, very exposed. But that is lots of perspective when you're, you take that stance, so that you're being very deliberate about it. So I find the same thing. If I'm going into something and I'm not feeling it, and I want to, then I, do that to center myself. That I find the physical, physically, how you stand, how you sit, how you walk really makes a difference. So you see sometimes people, walk very deliberately, or, you can tell with somebody if, they're kind of their heads hanging or whatever, either they're sad or they're, if people are just kind of avoiding the contact, like eye contact, or they don't really want to be, you either know that they're shy, or that there's, they don't have confidence, or they're trying to avoid something. They're trying not to tell the truth. I mean, from body language standpoint, we can really get into this. But I think the point here is that yes, how we're feeling will be transmitted into our body language. So if we are feeling happy or sad or whatever, that will probably be apparent. But the point here is reversing it. Can we reverse that? Can we, as Amy Cuddy said about taking that power pose and changing our inner feelings as a result of it? So I tend to believe that. I think that when you stand up, you sit tall, that you look up, you open yourself up. I know, during the pandemic, when things were locked down and people were, sad and upset and, detached and fear was at its highest, I would go down to the water. I live on Lake Ontario. I go down to the water at nighttime. And I would just stand there, and I would completely open myself up to the stars and ask for guidance, ask for energy. And it would just it would pour into it, that I couldn't open my chest wide enough. I couldn't take a big enough breath to take it in. And having that, I was able to, to change how I felt just by taking that pose. So, share some of those poses that you take, share some of the things that you do. I mean, there are people who deliberately, fold their arms, deliberately, put their hand in their head in their hands. There's very deliberate things. There's a lot of people who play with their hair. I mean, there's things that they do very deliberately, and somehow it resets something. I mean, I was kind of wiggling on my chair, and I think, when I first sat down, and I think there's body language, people will, talk about you resetting yourself when you do that. So there's lots of little idiosyncrasies that we do. But I think, again, rather than being reactive, the point here is being proactive. So especially when you need to feel good, or you want to give out good energy, or you want to attract something that's really important to you, or you want to be in a listening stance, so that you can make somebody else feel good, whatever it is that you want, think in terms of your physiology and what that pose is, what that stance is that's going to bring, that's going to supercharge, your neurons in a way to get them in alignment. That's the point, right? Not that you have to be positive all the time. You want them to be in alignment with what you're thinking and what you're feeling and what you intend, right? So was that helpful? Did you like that? I hope so. I thought it was really fascinating. So many resources on it. It's doing some of the research on some of these. I come up with, something that's under 60 seconds. It takes 2 hours of research and pulling different things. I'm sure you understand that, but it's lots of fun. I love doing it. It's a fantastic field of study, and I don't have a white coat that I wear, but sure have tons and tons of knowledge from working with and studying under some absolutely miraculous, spectacular people, and reading countless works on so many talented people who are bringing all kinds of different information to the surface. So we learn from all of them, right? We take what works, and we use our, our discerning factors to decide what suits us, and then we go forward with it. So, and it's always, I believe, one aha moment at a time, one little nugget at a time, right? So I hope this is one of those nuggets that changes your perspective and opens you up to something new, gives you a little more empowerment and control, influence over what is to come in your life, and that you receive an abundance of success, joy, and happiness, and of course, love always as a result of it. So hope you're having a wonderful day. I look forward to next time. And as always, succeed deliberately.